Welcome to Sharp or Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the betting show that makes the squares sharper and makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, my companion, my compadre, my BFF professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Hello, Mr. First Place Bears. How we doing?
Oh, we feel, it's so pathetic. I thought to myself today, the football teams that I love the most, the Chicago Bears and the Indiana Hoosiers, are two of the best teams in all of the land right now. They are a combined 21-3, and one of them is undefeated and playing for the Big Ten title this weekend. Feels pretty good. Pretty good, Simon.
I would say people that fit your exact description, people that are Bears fans, Indiana fans, even though it's only November 30th, who cares? It's like I could care less. I know it's a little early, but expectations-wise, did not see either of these scenarios happening as we head into December here. So I would say pretty insane times for both those fan bases. And like you said, it's every game now. We've been talking for months about this Bears. Every game is must see. Now the fact they're in control of their own destiny, home field throughout the playoffs. Come on, who cares? What's their points differential? +9? Who cares? It's what we love about football. Titans, what was that? 4 or 5 years ago, they got the 1 seed. It can happen, right?
Yep.
So
with Ryan Tannehill.
Best. Yeah, with Ryan Tannehill, exactly.
I've watched more TikToks of Ben Johnson taking his shirt off so the entire city of Chicago could get free Wiener Circle than I care to admit. I just love the spirit. I love the way he's galvanizing this team and the city is behind him. And he turned himself that night when he took off his shirt so the entire city could get free hot dogs. I think he made himself a hero for the rest of his life in that town. He understood. This is the magic of Ben Johnson. He understands who he's coaching for, not just the team and the players, but for the city itself. He totally gets it. He's bought in. He understands the connection. He understands the people. Like, I am all in on this. All in. The other night, I'm so in the other night at Thanksgiving. We were sitting around the table, and my dad was asking my younger son, who goes to Maryland, where the other kids from his pledge class. He just finished pledging a fraternity. He's been, went through Hell Week and whatever. And my dad was asking him, where are the other kids from? And he was naming all the places they're from. A lot of Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, et cetera, et cetera. My dad's like, oh, no one from Chicago. And I tapped him. I tapped my son. I'm like, well, you're from Chicago. I forgot he was born and raised in Connecticut because I'm thinking so much about the Bears right now. I just assumed we were in Chicago.
John, I'm so mature right now. I have about 50 Caleb Williams or free weenie jokes lined up, and I'm not going to say any of them. Let's go.
You're a class act. Our final five today were the Houston Texans +4.5. That's a win. Cleveland +5.5. That's a loss. The New York Jets +2.5. Miraculous win. Pittsburgh +3.5. It's a loss. We got the New York Giants +7.5 tomorrow. Our last ones out were the Tennessee Titans +6.5. Thanks freaking God. 3 teams today basically played one-sided football with no offensive support whatsoever. We bet on 2 of them, the Steelers and the Browns. The Steelers, Browns, and Seahawks combined for 15 points. None of them scored any points in the second half. That includes the Seahawks, who were shut out. Oh boy, we're going to talk about that game too a little bit because it was devastating to watch if you're a Vikings fan right now. This season, the Jets won on a last-second kick. This season, there have been more game-winning scores in the final 2 minutes or overtime than at any other season in NFL history. Nick Folk won with a 56-yard game-winning kick. Thank God, because you challenged me on the Jets versus the Titans, and I decided to own the responsibility of putting the Jets in, Simon. I told you I'd be the only one watching that Jets-Falcons game, and it was miserable. I'm just going to tell you that. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Indianapolis at Houston. Houston was a late entry for us. Like, we hadn't really talked about the Texans at all. If anything, we were leaning towards the Colts, but we came around as the week went on. Too much news about Daniel Jones and his injured leg. CJ Stroud was playing. That was never really a factor to me. It was really about the injuries to Daniel Jones. The guy just hasn't been as good the last couple of weeks, and it turns out it's because he might be playing on a broken leg. Great game. Great win for the Texans, Simon. Great win.
Yeah, and crazy the turnaround their season they've had. But we talked early in the year, it couldn't keep going, right? They couldn't keep losing. They have such a great defense. And like you said, it's Colts, we started on that side, and I feel like it was the right side. And the more as the week went along and you heard the injury news, that should flip everyone, right? And it really did. That number moved a ton from 4.5 all the way down to 3 by kickoff. And yeah, the Texans, they try to give it away a couple different times, but like you said, Daniel Jones just simply couldn't take advantage of it. So yeah, I think JJ Watt had a great stat. It's a simple stat, but it is a great stat. They've won every game basically where Jonathan Taylor scores, and they're 1-3 when he doesn't. So that just makes sense for that Colts team. Like we talked early in the year, he was their MVP. He was so dominant, and they only could go as far as he can take them. But I said it right back to he's their MVP, but they still need Daniel Jones to make those plays. And right now, he's not been making them. Like you said, he was making them to start the year. They've kind of fallen apart, and this Texans defense once again just stepped up. Every time we need him step up in that game, they kind of did for us. And it was great having CJ back. As great as Davis Mills was for them, right, winning games and going 3-0. This was a real test, and this is like a divisional setting type of game. Like that, both teams took this as a playoff game. So CJ really stepped up for a game. He was coming in kind of cold and made some big time throws. And that it sucks for the Colts. They went all in, right? They went and got Sauce, and you saw in that game he went out, and not as if he was this game changer, but that it was a big deal. Like that's a lot.
I think it was a big deal. I actually think it was a big deal because the CJ Stroud, he was okay. Like there are so many issues with this offense, and I don't know. We're now going 2 seasons in a row where the Texans are so far removed from the explosive, downfield, dangerous passing attack with CJ being so accurate on long passes that they were in his rookie season. A lot of reasons for that, right? There's offensive line reasons. There's running game issues. There's play calling issues. Receivers have been hurt. They haven't had the full complement. But there were times today when CJ Stroud did get the ball downfield, especially some good throws to Nico Collins. And those could have been plays where Sauce Gardner was defending Nico and they wouldn't have had that chance. But you still look at this Texans offense, and they are just dreadful in the red zone. There's no creativity. There's no misdirection. They run the ball into the middle of the offensive line. They wait to get 3rd and long, and then they have to kick a field goal. They can't even convert on short yardage situations. They were at the 15 late in the game. They could have gone up 23-16. They had a 3rd and 1. They run directly into the middle of the line. Don't get it. Go for it on 4th down. Same exact play. They didn't even try to change it up and did it again. So this offensive play calling that is happening in Houston is going to be the death knell for them as they get into the postseason. Their defense is great. Them, the Browns, the Vikings, like those are great defenses that are so hampered by offenses at varying levels. It's got to be so frustrating to watch if you're a Texans fan right now.
Yeah, like their offense is up and down, but I mean, they do enough every week to win. So yeah, it's hard to get too upset with it where all of the teams you just mentioned, my God, are they just totally lost offensively?
So sad. It is so sad. Let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. Let's talk about the fact they were 5.5-point underdogs to the Niners. Let's talk about the fact that the Niners, what was the final score, like 26-8 or something like that? I'm going to give you a stat. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
The Niners scoring drives, 4 of their 5 scoring drives, started on the Browns 40, the Browns 18, the Browns 26, and the Browns 14. They had 1 scoring drive of the 5 scoring drives they had where it was, I think, 37 seconds left in the first half, and they drove down the field to the 4-yard line on a miracle one-handed catch by Kittle just outside the 5-yard line, I think. And that allowed them to kick the field goal. Other than that, everything they did was on a short field. How are the Browns, who were awesome, supposed to be defending that? They can't do it.
Yeah, honestly, I was gonna do shame on the special teams of the Browns team, but I got someone else I'm gonna shame. But
I agree with you, by the way.
It felt like that's what cost us the game in every aspect, right? The special teams, they give up that punt. I think they got down to the 15 and then or 20. They put it in, and that's how they get their touchdown.
Yep.
They get a couple plays here and there that dictate the game where, like you said, defensively, they're doing their part. They're holding up. This was really, even though Brock Purdy, the stat sheet, it's not anything special. 168, 1 touchdown. To me, he had a bunch of sacks he got out of that. It shows why Purdy is a starter in the league, right? What makes him special and something he can do is pocket presence, because he should have got. And it wasn't like he took big plays, either threw it away or did a check down or anything like that. But it was just a very veteran play that kept them basically in the game, where Sanders every time took the sack, just every time. And you saw about 5 different things happen this game. You were like, this is why he dropped, not just because of his personality in the draft, his wind up in certain spots. It's like, dude, you cannot wind up when the pocket's closing on you. You just got to throw it from up top. You cannot draw from your hip back up to the air. It's going to get knocked out, or you're going to get sacked. And him running from these D linemen. Like, he got caught multiple times from behind.
Yeah.
That you're like, that's not even one of the edge guys. That's a D tackle catching him that he's not able to outrun. So he was just bad today. And, and it was a game where you kind of need him to show up a little bit, and he missed guys in a couple spots. And, we knew going in there was supposed to be bad weather. I don't really think the weather was that effective. Like, it felt like there was no passes that got taken by the wind. They were kicking field goals, kicking extra points. So, just a game where I honestly think if special teams showed up for this Browns team, would have been a totally different game. Like, I felt like the defense, when they were in, good spots, kind of got stops and held their own. It's just, like you said, impossible when you kept getting great field position to that team on the 49ers, and they eventually just wear you out. That's what they do as a team. They wear you out, and that's what happened this game. So, sucked. I had to watch the whole game because we were always kind of in it with our number. Like, they were just like, we always felt like you're a touchdown away. And then, in that fourth quarter kind of opened up and we were dead. So, yeah, bad bet on this Browns team. And, should have known better to back this Browns team after a huge road win coming back. Sanders just totally laid an egg in the spot.
So there were 2 special teams plays that you're talking about that I noted, and they were kind of back-to-back. The first was off of a kickoff after the Niners had scored. The Browns are totally still in the game. The ball is sailing out of bounds, and the Niners kick returner catches it on the sideline at the 5-yard line, and it catches it so close to the sideline that his momentum carries him out of bounds. So now the Browns...
No, that's even more egregious. There's a rule, Chad, which is, again...
That's right. Teams, that's right. It goes out of bounds. It goes to the 40.
Not even that. If you stick your foot out of bounds and your other foot inbounds and just stand there and catch it, like he could have done, that is considered out of bounds.
Right. That's what I mean.
That is one of the easiest tricks that more guys do. And like you just said, he did the opposite.
He tried to keep both feet in bounds.
He was saving us. Yeah, he thought he was saving the ball, catching it on the sideline with his feet. Shame.
So now the Browns are backed up, and they have to basically punt from their goal line. And, of course, the defense stops the Niners at midfield. So now the Niners have to punt, and the Niners punt returner has the ball go through his arms, fumbles it. The Browns fumble it. The Niners get the ball back, and then they score a touchdown. It's like, what are the Browns supposed to do? There's nothing they can do. This poor team, like, they're so good on defense. Here's what's interesting. After the game, the Browns defenders ripped Juwan Jennings for comments that I don't know what the comments are. It's not reported, that he had during the game that they said crossed the line.
To an injured player.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, apparently like one of the guys were down and he was saying stuff and he was hiding behind his offensive lineman. I think the exact quote from the guy he was talking about said, "I see why he got punched in the balls last week."
That's what I was going to say.
I'm shocked he hasn't been punched in the mouth yet. I was like, damn, what did this guy say? I'm with you.
That's what I was going to say. Like, it's interesting to me for the second week in a row, Juwan Jennings is in the middle of something with another team where they're calling him out. That's leading to some action. Last week,
I'm glad we need more Devo receivers. We had a nice run there in the mid 2000s. They've kind of faded here a little bit. AJ is trying to give us one. AJ Brown's giving a little bit of one, but it's nice to see someone else picking up the slack here and just like total psychopath in Jennings.
I mean, look, DK Metcalf tried to be one for years, and now he's wasted in Pittsburgh. We'll get to that in a second. Atlanta at the New York Jets. This is the one, Simon. New York Jets plus 2.5. This was an ugly game, back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden in the second half, it got a little bit rowdy. I was feeling great. Like, the Jets recovered a fumble at the Falcons won. They scored a touchdown. They were holding up. They got a touchdown to tie the game from Tyrod Taylor to Adonai Mitchell, a 52-yard touchdown pass, 14-14. Like, this game, did you watch any of this game?
Of course, I bet it. We gave it out. My whole issue.
It was our brass balls.
Yeah, my whole issue with it was just we didn't have a good number.
No, we had a bad
number.
If
it was 3.5, it would have been a no-brainer. We took that. My only issue was we were taking a bad number at 2.5, and it could have bit us 1,000 different ways, right? But like we always say, these stupid games, you just gotta trust these ugly dogs sometimes. And there's no way to break it down. Like this is an insane game. The fact that they scored 7 points in the first half and they got us 20 the second half. This Jets team, and 50-yard bombs, and punt returns getting down to the 10 or kick returns down to the 10, and them getting stopped and only getting 3. Like we lived and died so many times
and missed field goals going both ways.
Yeah, and just I know people who work for teams and ownerships, and you can tell when a coach is just doing his own thing because he's like, I don't really care what the ownership or whoever's telling me what to do. Like I'm just playing for my own job. I want to play for wins. He has been told, I am for sure, that he needs to go for 2 in those exact spots. Like when he gets a touchdown with 2 minutes left.
Aaron Glenn, you mean?
Yes, Aaron Glenn here. Like he has been told, I am sure he needs to go for 2 in that exact scenario because it's great. They go up 1, they're going to win. Or even better, they lost now because they're down by 1 point. And he kicked the extra point. I go, my God. Are me and Chad going to hold on to this one here? And I think Kirk got it twice. He got it punted, got it back. And then God bless Kirk. He's just so bad. They got it. He had a couple opportunities. He could have burned us, and he really didn't. And yeah, it's exactly what we talked about, though. We faded it because it's like Kirk is now a favorite on the road. This is the exact moment to go against him.
Without Drake London, and I do think that mattered. Like there were times late in the game, he just didn't have anyone.
Pitts played well.
He can rely on. Pitts played fine, but Darnell Mooney was kind of non-existent. And at the end of the game, he alligator-armed a catch that would have been really significant. That guy Sills, number 87 on the Falcons, he dropped a pass on that final drive where they could have put themselves closer into field goal range. It was exciting. It was truly awesome to watch this game. I actually never felt like the Jets were out of it. And
I never did. I just the whole time was like, my God, is this 2.5 going to burn us? That was my just that, like you just said, all the missed field goals. I was like, it's not landing on the 2.5 like I thought it was going to. I really thought it was going to be a 1 or 2 point game, and it kept staying on the 3.
What was I thought he might go for 2. What's interesting to me that you just say is he's being told to go for 2. I would go for 2. Like if I were a coach in that situation.
Right. That's what I'm saying, though. He's just in his mind, though. He's like, no, I'm playing for my own record now. Like I'm not playing to get you a better draft pick. I'm trying to win. And if you're trying to win and play for a playoff spot, of course you kick the extra point there. The Jets are not that team. They want the number 1 pick. Like, what are we doing here? So I just thought it was really interesting that he kicked that because I thought it was really telling. Where it's like, okay, maybe him and the organization are not on the same page. I thought they were. I thought they would bring him back next year. If he keeps winning, I don't know if you can. Like he's sabotaging.
You're saying if he keeps winning, they're going to have to fire him because he's ruining all their plans.
He's not listening to him. But I'm with you. It's good he's winning, but it's like you need a top pick, don't you? Like, I mean, I can't wait for the offseason to talk these quarterbacks, but there might only be 1 or 2 good ones coming out. So this game right here, Atlanta might be, this might dictate Atlanta having a draft pick above the Jets now. It's just a really unique spot.
And I think they're obviously going to get rid of Raheem Morris. Who's now they've lost something like 7 in a row. They're 3-9 on the year. Michael
Penix was the fourth quarterback taken in a draft, and he's on his 5th knee surgery.
And he's not even going to be back until the middle of the year. Like, this team all of a sudden goes from looking like it had potential to being in the middle of a rebuild, like complete start again next year. Because when Penix comes back, what are you going to have?
I would love that job as a coach, though. Like, you got a good line. You could have a high pick to get a quarterback, and you have all the weapons. Like, you have Drake. You have the running back. I don't know. Of all the spots that are coming up, like, there's gonna be some ugly coaching opportunities. This feels like a pretty good one.
We're going to have a little bit more about Tyrod Taylor and the Jets in a minute. Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh plus 3.5. Dude, this first half was so freaking ugly and chippy, and the whole game got ugly and chippy. Cam Hayward constantly in Josh Allen's face. There were multiple personal foul calls that weren't even part of the play. They were after the play with people acting like idiots. Like, this was such an ugly game. And then the wheels came off for the Steelers as soon as the second half started. Aaron Rodgers getting literally bloodied and having to leave the game. That, to me, was sort of the perfect example of what this game became for the Steelers.
I know they teased us, Chad. It felt so good that first half. It
felt so real. It felt so real.
Yeah, it was just exactly like, we know Pittsburgh's a shitty team, but you saw that first half. That's how they win and steal these games, right? They play really good defense, keep guys in front of them, steal the ball, get turnovers offensively, play smart, play simple. But my God, Rodgers probably should not have played this week. He was just nothing for us out there. And whatever happened at halftime, I mean, I can't get over how bad it started for us. Like you said, he came out, 14:55 on the clock. So it's literally the first snap.
First play.
Yeah. He gets hit, strip sack, like you said, bloody nose. They kick it off right away. No commercial break, right? There's just
strip sack and the Bills score. So it goes from being 7-3 Steelers at the half. They have the ball. They could drive down the field, potentially score. And instead, it's now 10-7 Bills. Aaron Rodgers is out of the game. Mason Rudolph is in the game. And for a second, I said to myself, maybe it'll be better.
Agree. And again, at the halftime, I think it was -3.5 Pittsburgh. So it's not like the books thought the Bills were about to come back. Like you said, it was a good spot for Pittsburgh to be in. Mason comes in, throws a pick, obviously. Even then, I'm still not freaking out at this point. It's like, okay, we'll see. Their defense have been getting up yards, but they've been holding them to 3. And it really did come down to that fourth down play. Yeah. Like, we've seen it. I mean, we didn't talk about the Thanksgiving game, but that Green Bay game against the Lions dictated by fourth down touchdowns. Like, these are huge flips, not just the totals, obviously, but the spreads. Definitely like a flip just for the Bills momentum-wise. And, if I would have came to you before the game and said, hey, let's fade Josh Allen here, he's only going to throw for 123 yards, you would sign up for that. 123 yards and an interception and a touchdown. You're not used to the Bills winning that way with him on the road. But we saw something we've never seen before, which is historical, 250 yards rushing?
Yeah. Most rushing yards against a Steelers team at home in 50 years. The last time it happened, by the way, Buffalo Bills against the Steelers 50 years ago.
And I told you the Eagles against your Bears gave up the most rushing yards in Eagles history since 1962. So we had 2 franchises at home give up the most rushing yards they've ever had. This is, again, it's super corny. We've been talking about it. It's not the football we are used to from the 2000s to what it's become now. The running back, not that it's the Eagles' blueprint, right? They didn't invent the leaning into the run, depending on the run, but all these teams have leaned into it. And we've seen a total shift in the league where, teams got small to catch up with speed to stop these spread offenses. And now you're seeing teams like the Bills, who you saw they could not pass block. Those two tackles in there could not pass block. You know what they could do? They could run block. Those are their big ass human beings. And when you're just moving guys like they were, I mean, Romo was losing his mind. The Steelers would not bring in a corner to cover the edge. I feel like any time Cooks wanted to go outside and pick up 10, he could.
He did.
So.
He would like jump, run, jump cut, go right. Tony Romo diagrammed it 8,000 times.
Yeah.
By the end of the third quarter, the Steelers finally had a drive to start the fourth quarter. And of course, they got down to 4th and 2 outside the 10, and their creative play calling, not running misdirection, not trying to throw over the top of the defense. It was basically run into the middle of the defensive line out of shotgun. So, of course, they turned the ball over on downs. Before that series, the Bills had 300 total yards. The Steelers had 90 total yards. That's unbelievable.
It's like a bad Bills defense. This is not like a great Bills defense. So that's the most alarming part of it.
Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers in the first half combined, what do they have? 5 MVPs between the two of them. Combined, they were 12 of 25 for 104 total yards. 6 of 12 for Josh Allen, 6 of 13 for Aaron Rodgers, 50 yards for Josh Allen, 54 yards for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it was atrocious football. But congrats to the Bills. You know, they did it.
Huge win.
Huge win. Huge win for the Bills. And congrats to Josh Allen. NFL record 76th rushing touchdown. That's the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history. Passing. Do you know who he passed?
I do not. Fran Tarkenton?
Cam Newton.
There you go.
I didn't know if you had any comment on that. All right. Let's get a quick word from our friends at Hard Rock Bet. Today's show is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook anytime you're in Florida. And it's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado, coming soon to more states. To sign up today, and you could score $150 in bonus bets. Just place a $5 bet. If it hits, you get not only your winnings, but also $150 in extra bonus bets. Not sure what to place your first bet on? Head over to the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub, and it will help you out. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Numbers don't lie, and neither does the data in there. Check out the Stats Hub now. Get the edge and bet with confidence. Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every day, plus big, legendary reward drops every Thursday like gifts under the tree. So whenever you're listening, just open the app and check out what you've got waiting for you. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. All right, couple of questions. The first one from our YouTube viewer who's in the chat right now, Another Shot. He wants to know if we can stop betting the Steelers. I'm with Another Shot. Like, I felt like we had been getting away with it. We've lost the mojo on the Mike Tomlin spots. This is not a very good team. Their defense is giving up the most yardage they've given up in the Mike Tomlin era. The offense is as unimaginative as ever, and Aaron Rodgers is injured and hobbled. What are we doing with the Steelers team? I feel like we got to jump off this bandwagon here.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm with the guy, but it's just there's certain spots where it just feels like they're going to be undervalued, and we'll eventually have to jump on them. But yeah, for contest wise, if we can avoid them the rest of the year, I'm with the guy. I'd be very happy not to have them the rest of the year in our contest.
Well, look, and next week, I think they have the bye next week, don't they? No, they're playing Baltimore. They have Baltimore. They're 6.5-point underdogs at the Ravens. No doubt they're going to tempt us with exactly when we want to walk away. They're going to pull us back in with an ugly game against a struggling Ravens team and a big number where we're going to be off the bandwagon. And of course, that's going to be one we want to bet the Steelers.
I plan on losing half my money on that Ravens money line. Just
Getting ahead of it now.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do the Ravens lose that in that spot against a one-armed quarterback and Aaron Rodgers? Can't even hand the ball off properly right now.
This is an interesting question too, and then we've got one more, but I want to go to this one first. Joe Connolly wants to know, excluding the old guard, Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City, which team in the AFC do we think is most likely to take over that position and get to the Super Bowl right now? It's hard.
It's a ton of unproven guys at the top of the AFC. So I mean,
it's not Indy anymore. Like Daniel Jones is hobbled.
If
it's not Jacksonville.
Yeah, I would say if I'm still a betting man, you're just hoping the Bills get in there. You feel comfortable with the Bills. I still see a path for the Chiefs, but if the Chiefs don't make it, the Bills don't make it, and I'm forced to pick teams out of everybody, probably going to end up on Denver. They have a coach who's done it before, and that's a big deal when the rest of the coaches he's going against, Harbaugh obviously has, but it's a unique spot with this Denver team. They're probably going to have the best defense left in the playoffs. So, yeah, that's why New England's a fun team because, like I said, guys, again, took it as offense. They just give me the major – Drake May gives me major Carson Wentz vibes the year he had that MVP run of just really athletic in the pocket, great deep ball thrower, and an offense that's humming. They might not know any better. Like, that's what's so fun about New England. They might not know any better. And if they get the right matchups, they also could make that run. So, yeah, I would say any team would be excited unless you're a Jags fan. It's just like you're waiting for the shoe to drop. So, yeah, for right now, leading their division, Ravens, Denver, New England, I think all those fan bases should be really excited because the Bills, the Chiefs, they're not a lock to make the playoffs yet. It's really interesting.
Also, I would say the Texans, if they can figure out any offensive
You just buried them. You just buried them.
But like the problem is you talk about defense, right? Like when I was thinking about the answer to that question, I was thinking the Broncos first and foremost because they've got such a good defense. But Bo Nix is unreliable. And as much as Sean Payton is a coaching genius, he still has to figure out ways to manage Bo Nix in really specific situations and hope that Bo Nix can execute on his vision, right? He needs to be the perfect avatar for whatever Sean Payton is trying to call in any scenario. The Texans defense is just as good. The Texans defense could be even better than the Broncos defense. They've got an incredible pass rush. They've got a great secondary. They keep teams from scoring points. Like, this is a really historically great defense potentially. And they got the same thing. But I think that there's probably more trust in CJ and less trust in what they can do offensively because of their play calling. You know what I mean?
I do think you just have high expectations for Bo, though. Like, not to be the backer of Bo Nix, but he's had some impressive fourth quarter comebacks this season that I give him a ton of respect to. And that Houston defense you just talked about, he had 2 huge drives. We lost that bet. He scored 11 points against that dominant Houston defense on the road and burned us. He beat us.
Yeah.
We had Houston. So I agree with you. I don't like him or trust him. But whatever the magic is with this kid in the fourth quarter, he does nothing for 3 quarters, and he shows up in these big moments. So I don't know. It's just like I'm trying to think of, like, the kid asked a really good question. Like, this – we're in uncharted water right now. And I don't know. I'd rather take Drake May or Bo over Lamar because I've just seen Lamar choke so many times in the playoffs. So I'm having a hard time trusting Lamar, even though I feel like that's probably the easy answer.
One of the other questions that we just got from Matt Mitchell that came in from Joe Connolly was about J.J. McCarthy. His question was, and I want to say it now because I want to lead into talking about that Minnesota game for a second. His question was, would J.J. McCarthy ask for a trade? J.J. McCarthy is not asking for a trade. The Vikings might decide to trade J.J. McCarthy because they just don't think he's good enough, and they're going to try to figure out, can they get Mac Jones? Someone who can play within Kevin O'Connell's system and actually deliver the ball to Justin Jefferson, deliver the ball to Jordan Addison. I thought, in the game today, Minnesota is a 12-point underdog. And if not for all of the turnovers and Max Brosmer not really knowing the difference between a Vikings uniform and a Seahawks uniform, they keep that game close. I know you're going to say I'm crazy, but the only touchdown the Vikings, the Seahawks scored of the first 19 points they scored was a pick six where Brosmer on a 4th and 1 was about to go down and underhanded it directly to a Seahawks player, Ernest Jones, who ran it back 90 yards for a touchdown. Their defense was in Darnold's grill all day, including 2 sacks and 2 forced fumbles in the first 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, and it's another reason why a lot of people have pause about Sam Darnold, because certain teams know how to play him and make him look very foolish and uncomfortable. And once you get a little rattled, it doesn't really go away. So I'm not hating on your read, but the whole reason I wouldn't let us touch this one is just like, dude, I told you, I tried to watch film on this kid. I'm just like, this kid looks like he's about to die today. So I need to turn this off because I'm going to talk myself out of this in a second. And, even when he did have good throws, you knew what the deal was going to be. He was going to be highly inconsistent. It's his first start in a really, terrible environment to be in, and he's not a first-round pick. This is not a kid that's been playing SEC football his whole life, man. This is not that type of situation. So, him throwing 4 picks, taking 4 sacks, it's against arguably the best defense, number 2, number 3 defense in all football right now. So, like you said, it's your theory about taking Minnesota was sound. They did defensively what they were supposed to do. It's just you got a total 0 from the unknown at the quarterback position, which we said going into, there's just no way to account for what this kid's going to do. That's why that number fluctuated so much this week. I mean, we talked this morning, a couple of books had it at 11, a couple of books already had it at 13. So it really depended on what sharp group hit what book and which side they were on. And it was just no one really knew. You're really betting into the unknown there. But the thing you did know is 2 really good defenses were going to play this game. So as bad as Sam Darnold was, he was a veteran quarterback there. He didn't put his team. He wasn't throwing pick sixes on 4th down like a rookie quarterback
from
was.
The 10-yard line.
Yeah. So just brutal if you did back Minnesota. Like you said, the theory was right, but my God, got a total 0 at the quarterback. And to answer the JJ McCarthy question like you did, he ain't going anywhere. He's going to be there. I talked about it. I think they'll go get a veteran. So someone to challenge him. If they keep losing and get a high enough draft pick, maybe KOC does fire another one and try to get a quarterback he likes. But to me, they just go the veteran route. Someone to challenge him, see if he takes that year 2, year 3 jump. If he doesn't, they're going to eat it. They made a huge mistake moving on from Sam Darnold. And you saw them hug and embrace after the game. Like, I'm sure he whispered to him, just miss you, bud. Like, he knows you fucked up. And that's the tough part.
Greg Olsen and Joe Davis, they did their best to glaze Max Brosmer. Like, before the kid threw a pass,
yeah, they did.
They were talking about this kid, he could be Brock Purdy. They were making actual comparisons to Brock Purdy. The first pass, which was a little bit out of reach of Jordan Addison, they were blaming it all on Jordan Addison for not catching it off his fingertips when he was diving for the ball. Like, they did their best to make everybody interested, and then it was punt, 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 pick. That was basically the first 4 series for the Minnesota Vikings. All right, we have to talk about the Carolina Panthers plus 10.5. Stafford 2 early picks, including a pick 6. 6 lead changes. The Panthers are down 28-24, 4th down from their own 43. Bryce Young hits Tetaroa McMillan for the touchdown. Are you kidding me? Carolina wins this game 31-28.
Bryce Young, give him tons of flowers. He is inconsistent. We know that, but he set the NFL record most comeback wins to start his career. I believe he's at 11 now at the youngest age. I think he just beat like Josh Allen by like 30 days. So, obviously totally different spectrums. Josh Allen's a freak of all freaks, but that thing we talk all the time, the thing
so is Bryce Young, by the way. Think
in
about
some
it.
ways, right? But the thing you can't scout, you can't coach, you can't teach is that clutchness, that ice in your veins, no problem driving the field at the end of the games. And that 4th down touchdown, that was big time. That was a risky play that paid off huge. And a game where we said we were going to bet the money line. We threw a little on it. Wish we were more confident in the number, obviously. And, we talked, the Rams were due for a stinker, more so Stafford was. But even he bounced back. Like, he threw those 2 egregious picks, and it was 14-14. Like, he wasn't in that bad of a spot after really playing so poor. Red zone turnovers and pick sixes, and it was just everything going wrong. Like, this is such a good Rams team, but it's incredible what this offense and Bryce Young's done. And they, looking at all the different team schedules and how the season's going to end, they're probably my number 2 team right now. That's like, I really cannot wait to see what happens these next 5 weeks. So they basically have this bye week, Chad. Then they're at New Orleans. Then it's Tampa, Seattle, Tampa. I mean, oh my God, is that a juggernaut to finish the season? So I love it. It's like a team that no one really believes in. We joked coming into the year, their win total was 6.5. They've hit it. They now have their 7th win. A team we never quit on. We always loved. It's been like a long 2-3 years with them. But this is always the team we envisioned, right? A really good offense with Bryce Young pushing the ball downfield. And, can they go 3-1 in those next 4 games, Chad? I don't think so. This might be as good as it gets, but, they have a win against a really good Green Bay team, a win against a really good Rams team, win against Dallas. Like, I'm looking at it right now. They've won some games against good teams that I wouldn't count them out. I think they could shock the world and somehow fit, which would be crazy, them stealing it from Baker with them winning this division. I think it's not out of the world yet.
Simon, I want to go to shame on you right now because it is connected to the Carolina Panthers. Shame on you, Chad Millman. Simon, who do we love more than anyone else in the NFL?
Barry Millman?
No, the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Who have we invested in more than any other team in the NFL the past several years?
Panthers.
Who did we say we loved in this spot against a Rams team that was at peak value against a Panthers team that was coming off of a prime time loss in which it did not look very good but still had a chance to cover? Give me the answer.
Panthers.
We went through a whole breakdown of why we like the Panthers on Tuesday. We were both in. We both loved it. I stupidly mentioned some defensive back issues. They were going to be without defensive backs because of injuries and suspensions. The guy who knocked Juwan Jennings in the nuts was going to be out this game. In that instant, we walked away from the game, did not go back to it. It's like we looked for an excuse not to bet on the Carolina Panthers as 10.5-point home dogs when we have almost bet on the Panthers as 10.5-point home dogs in every single scenario for the past 7 years, no matter who the quarterback was. And yet somehow we didn't do it when they were primed to win outright. Shame on me. Shame on Chad Millman. Simon.
Happens to the best of us, Chad. I'm gonna go with I said I was gonna do Brown special teams because they burned us bad today. But shame, I know I keep going back to the well, but shame to these NFL referees on Thanksgiving. I'm trying to watch these games with family members, and all people can talk about are how horrible these refs are, how rigged it is for gambling, all this BS, and I just can't take it. They have to either call down the New York thing or let these coaches have one challenge, any call, whatever it may be. People were losing their minds. I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about. That's the Detroit Lions Green Bay game. Letting that coach call the timeout, what was clearly a false start. You have the camera angles. There's just nothing left up to imagination. You have every angle, every sound. It's all people talk about the rest of Thanksgiving, where I'm the other way, where it's like, damn it, these were great games. All these games were so good, and now I have to defend the Shield, which I will do. I'm a mouthpiece for the Shield. I love the NFL no matter what, but my God, they make it hard in those type of scenarios where you just have multiple games with bad referee calls that are dictating these games. I mean, that Dallas game, that was a bad game as well. Like, people were really complaining about it, but it's hard to complain too much because it feels like the Chiefs have gotten every call for the last 5 years. So it just, instead of everyone talking about the games, it became a thing about the refs. And it's just, I can't take it anymore, NFL. Shame on you for not letting coaches challenge these calls. Just won a game. It's just, there's some of these calls that just turn a whole game. They can't leave it up to the refs to dictate these games. It's just too much money, too much speculation now by the general public. They got to earn the trust back of everyone.
Who is your hero of the week?
Man, I mean, I feel like we are our own heroes because we didn't put any of the Thanksgiving games or that Black Friday game into it. I almost tried to talk you out of the Browns. Unfortunately, I loved it. But we are ice cold on our Tuesdays picks. Chad's choice, Simon says. I'm dying here with Simon says. That's why I didn't even text Chad, people, honestly, about Sunday or I should say Friday's game. Because I was like, this bet is taking on so much water right now. I can't even. We had a good number. It was 6.5 in the contest. I don't want to make you try to put it in. I just been ice cold with my picks. So apologies, people. We are our own heroes avoiding these picks. But for myself, I'm killing myself with these Simon says. I'm betting these. It's good numbers. But yeah, luckily contest. We should be sitting here 2-3. You saved us with the Jets. Probably could be 1-4. Got the Giants left to get us back to 3-2 and keep us one step closer. If we hit it, we'll be up to 59% for the season.
I love how you both shamed yourself and made yourself the hero at the same time for being ice cold in the picks, but being smart enough not to put those picks.
We're heroes because we're self-aware enough. We don't have the egos, Chad. We're heroes.
We are self-aware. My hero of the week, Tyrod Taylor. Look, he was the reason we bet the game. He did exactly what we were hoping he would do. He had that team moving down the field. He ran for the game-time touchdown on a broken play where it looked like they had nothing going and it was going to end 24-17. He scrambled for the yardage to put them in range for the game-winning field goal. He had a passing touchdown. He had a rushing touchdown. Tyrod Taylor, you are the reason we are 2-2 right now. You are the reason I won my Jets bet at +2.5, +3, and on the money line. I thank you, Tyrod Taylor. You are a hero.
He is quietly becoming the Teddy Bridgewater of covering. He is 7-1 in his last 8 starts against the spread. Great. Just undervalued every time by the public and finds a way. Like we said, I never in my wildest dreams thought he'd be throwing 50-yard bombs in that game in the rain, keeping us that cover.
Simon says, like you said, was Philadelphia -6.5. Chad's choice was Cleveland +5.5. Ugh. Brass balls, New York Jets +2.5. Bully for us. Rock on a hard place was New York Giants +7.5. We forgot to do sharp versus square this week in the rush to do a lot of other stuff in today's show. I'm kind of glad because I'm getting my ass kicked in that. The favorites parlay, Seattle -5.5. It won. LA Chargers won. Miami, it won. Tampa Bay won. Los Angeles Rams, ugh. Underdog parlay, Pittsburgh lost. Cleveland lost. Jets won. Houston won. Tennessee lost. Simon, what are some early leans if you've had a chance to look? If you haven't, I have 2 that I noticed right away.
I mean, are we supposed to go back and take the Jets again at +3?
Yes.
I mean, that's insane.
I immediately put that down.
We might have like a northeastern crazy snowstorm up here in the Northeast when this game is happening. So we're getting Tua outdoors potentially in the weather. Let's grab that early +3 in case that is true and this number moves a ton. There's a couple games I do like, but I'm just interested to see where the line's going to go on them because it feels like I'm getting a bad number. But I'm probably going to be on the Chiefs. They're at home in prime time. Right now they're at -4, -4.5 against Houston. I know people are going to be like, well, you just tried to fade. You gave us the exact same spot last time. You're trying to fade Houston on the road. I am. Like Chad just keeps saying, their offense is dysfunctional. They can't keep getting away with it. And I think this is a nice spot to back this Chiefs team that I think the public is finally going to leave them for dead. Like they've been backing them every week and they've been losing them for every week. So that's a number I'm going to be on. I'm not going to jump and make people take it right now, but I am going to grab the -4 just in case it does move. And another game that I like, but I could see it moving, Colts, they're -1.5. I'm worried it might flip because I just don't know if Jones got more banged up today and they're going to sit him out, this could move. I'm going to roll the dice on the early risk and just take it now in case he is okay to go. I could see this getting up to -2.5 on the Colts as a favorite on the road.
Jets was the very first game I noticed. And by the way, as we're talking, that line has moved to 2.5 almost everywhere. There is 1-3 that I can see that is still out there, but that's juiced to minus 118 right now. Interesting to me also, the Cowboys had been 3.5-point underdogs on the road at Detroit for Thursday night. When we started the show, that number is now down to Detroit -3. The other game that stood out to me, expectations are that Jaden Daniels is going to play next week. Washington is on the road at Minnesota, and they're 1.5-point underdogs right now.
I bet it, but I feel bad because I'm super biased. Like I already talked about, I'm heavy into the Commanders tonight. I put them another contest them in. It was one of my 5 favorite bets, and these last 2 games, I'm really big on them tonight, Commanders and the Giants. And I think I talked about Dr. Nick gave it out. They're both huge luck discrepancies, so should be the type of game where the bounces should go their way. And I think you get Commanders tonight up to 6.5. I like your early read. I'll grab that plus 1.5 now. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is for Minnesota, right? We're really banking on, even if it's Mariota once again. If they cover tonight, that number will flip. They'll be a favorite if Mariota plays well tonight. So I like that early read by you.
All right, Kansas City, New York Jets, Washington, 3 games that we're paying attention to. Before we get out of here tonight, reminder, the Sharper Square NFL Pick'em contest officially launches tomorrow night after the Monday Night Football game for Week 14. The contest runs from this week, beginning Week 14 through the Super Bowl. Dynamic contest lines that move with the market. No more locked lines that we're talking about on Sunday that haven't moved since Tuesday. It's totally free to play. We are all going to play together. You're just going to make 5 picks per week, 9 total contest weeks, 1 incredible grand prize. Hard Rock Bet, our fantastic sponsors, will fly our contest winner and a guest to sunny South Florida, 2-night stay at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Get some NBA tickets, an awesome gift for a totally free contest. We'll launch it next week. Thanks to everybody for your patience. We've worked hard through all the compliance issues. It's not as easy as you think. Thanks to our awesome sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. We're glad we could get this to you. The website to join, sharporsquare.volume.com, or follow the link in the episode description. Thank you to the people in the YouTube chat who suggested that. Either way, sharporsquare.volume.com, or follow the link in the episode description to sign up. Lines for Week 14 will hit the board late tomorrow night after the Monday Night Football games end. All right. We won with the Texans. We lost with the Browns. We won with the Jets. We lost with the Steelers. We got the Giants plus 7.5 tomorrow night. This has been Sharper Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We'll be back with Sharper Square on Tuesday to go over the entire NFL slate. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharp or Square. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, download us from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars. Say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Until next time, love you.
Okay. This isn't college. You're not at a home conference.
I understand.
This is NFL, which stands for not for long when you make them calls.
Yeah.
I'll be selling groceries.